Be there in just 1 minute. Yes, sign language. Pavlov's dog. It doesn't matter what I say. Oh no, now there's some happening. Okay. And now we should be back. Do you have to put the limiter on in this stuff?
I think I might actually have to do that
all
over again.
You know what's really funny is what none of you could hear, and maybe you can now, was that we were kind of congratulating ourselves that we'd got
all this stuff done.
We got it all done.
It was all plug and play and it all slotted in.
And then we realized we messed it up again.
Well,
what are you going to do? Yes, now it's working. So, good work, Michael.
Good work, Jim. I think, what, we said 15. Okay, so now we can congratulate ourselves about just how good this is all working.
Yep, we're killing it.
So what you guys missed out on is that we spent a couple of minutes figuring out the room, and we realized that this room doesn't have straight walls, straight floors, straight anything.
No straight sound, apparently.
So we measured it with a piece of wire.
And our feet.
And
Michael's thumb. And so now we're kind of there.
The show brought to you by Beg, Borrowed and Steal.
So let's try this again. It's another Thursday night.
And it should be about something.
It's a little past 8:30 now.
And this to my right
is Jim Livy, and this to my left
is Michael Smolik. And it's lovely to have all you people here. So if you're joining us for the first time, thank you very much for being here. If you are here again, like our good friends Pavlov's dog, Verena.
Hi, Verena. Everybody wave to Verena.
Everybody wave to Verena. Yeah. Donna, so nice to see you again, babe.
Moko.
Here you are.
Excellent.
Here we are. Sign language, please. Like the police, the fire chief did a sign language thing. Everybody's very impressed about that. I like that. I thought that was a nice touch at the inauguration.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it should be about something.
Should we, before we get into it, should be about something. Should we review what happened this week?
Okay.
Like what happened between the last ISBAZ and today?
Wow. There was
The
stuff
US got a
happened.
new president.
The U.S. got a new president.
That's
I have to admit,
pretty good news, actually.
It's very good news. I have to admit, I still have that feeling like it's toward the end of the horror movie, and the monster has been vanquished, and everyone's having that breathe. I'm just waiting for a knife-wielding thing to just jump out again.
Yeah.
I haven't quite gotten past that spot.
I think it's going to take the whole world a while to get past that spot. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump is hiding behind a doorway somewhere, waiting for that moment.
Waiting just to jump
Everybody's
out.
like, when everybody lets out that sigh of relief, that's when we're all going to get hit by golf balls.
Yeah. The other thing that happened this week, I had a really nice show with some wonderful performers that we did on Zoom with Nele Kiesling and Marvin Meinhold and Trixie Brunchko. And it was super, super fun. And I don't know if any of you out there have seen any shows online, so theatrical things. This was an improvised piece. They were all improvised Zoom calls between different characters, and they were all inspired by different things that came from folks in the chat. We had over 200 people there.
200 people on Zoom.
Yeah.
Dang. I'd like to get 200 people on YouTube. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, we're on our way.
I'd get 200 people within 1 month.
We can do that. We can do that. So in any case, I just want to give a quick shout out to Nele and to Marvin who set that whole thing up. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun. And Trixie, I love you. I love performing with Trixie. I love performing with all of them, but Trixie is a good old colleague and friend, and she was absolutely wonderful. But the whole experience was really great. So I don't know if you've tried any of this stuff, but if you get a chance, check out some stuff online. There's some really good stuff out there.
Oh. So Pavlov's dog's Buddy checked it out.
Nice.
And I finally found out who follower of
Clay.
Follower of Clay is.
Yeah.
We chatted on Facebook.
Yeah.
He said he might drop in tonight.
Yeah.
So,
anything else happened for you this
well,
past
just to
week?
get the Trump thing out of my veins.
Get it out.
They're thinking of they were thinking of naming an airport after him. That was like the thing he wanted. He wanted an airport named after him.
I bet he did.
But they trashed that idea because who would want to fly into Dumbfuck International? And my dad sent me a meme. There's Trump wine now. You can buy Trump wine.
Yeah.
It's made from sour grapes.
Nice. And his tears.
There was also, it says, I wrote this down because it says on the label, full-bodied and bitter vintage, guaranteed to leave a nasty taste in your mouth for years. Grown in pure bullshit.
Okay, so you and I have now gone onto the internet to talk about something that we've gone full circle. We are inceptionizing our It Should Be About Something.
So are you saying this is where we have to commit suicide? We have to jump off the edge?
No, I think we might perhaps delete Google. It's like
I don't think
Google
that can be,
into Google.
yeah, that can't be done.
No.
And that's going to bring us full circle to where we were on the 1st or the 7th of January. Like,
When it was all
everything's
scary.
just a repeat of everything. It's all
It is.
folklore from now on.
It is all
it's
folklore.
just-
Just so you know, not so you know, I mean, I hope that you know, but I want you to know as well, because of the weird Wi-Fi, that our chat is not up to date.
Oh, but you see, so we were bragging about how much this show actually slotted in and
we were like
worked
on
so
it,
well. We
and
were
we
really
got
on it,
the stuff.
but we were actually not.
No.
We'd forgotten a ton of stuff.
We were way out of it.
So I tell you what, I'm gonna put up a hotspot here.
Okay.
So that we can put that on.
And while Michael's doing that, I would like to extend also a warm welcome to everybody who's joining us for the first time, and for those of you who are coming again, thank you all very, very, very much. It Should Be About Something. We are really trying to get it going, and we've got some good stuff happening. And we thank you all for your patience. Yeah.
So
worth it. So now I have to do a
see if you
thing
can
here.
find a new,
All right, you talk to
new
the folks.
Wi-Fi for this. Isbaz, it should be about something. Comes to you today in 3 parts.
Yes.
And part 1, you wanted to talk about,
Did
and
I?
it's luck.
Luck. Yeah, man. Let's talk about luck.
So, and I think luck's a very interesting thing to talk about actually, because we put so much down to luck, but how much of it actually is luck?
Well,
What are your views on luck, Jim? Actually, before we do that, let's say, yeah. So,
Cheers.
best Isbaz setup of all time.
yeah, man. Killing it.
Best save as well.
Yeah. Killing it.
Ooh, ginger beer for the first time instead
Nice.
of ginger ale.
So, luck is, I think luck is a very important thing. And luck, first of all, I think luck plays a huge part in all of our lives. And I also, however, subscribe to the idea that I think the Germans have put so well, man ist sein eigenes Glückes Schmied.
Yes, but how much of that is then actually luck?
And
Like if you're
this is-
making it yourself.
Well, this is where I think it comes together, right? Because you could be the luckiest motherfucker in the world, but if you aren't ready to convert on that luck,
Yes. Okay.
and that's where I think your luck, you can be the schmied, the smith of your own luck, in that you are preparing yourself to be ready for the luck.
But I actually think you're talking more about success. Are you ready to take the things that are offered to you and make your happiness or your success out of that? Because I'm quite happy to call those things luck as well. But there is also that luck of you're walking down the street and you find cash on the street. That's a different kind of luck.
It isn't. It isn't.
No, it is the same kind. It is a different kind.
I'm telling
It's
you.
also the kind of luck of you're walking down the street and you don't get hit by the car.
I hear you, and I tell you what I'm saying to you is that the person who has created within themselves the type of personality that keeps an eye out and is observant of one's surroundings is going to be the person who sees the cash on the ground.
Okay, so what about
More
the plane
often.
that falls on your house while you're sleeping? Or the plane that falls on the neighbor's house while you're sleeping in yours?
That is what we're calling the absence of luck, and we're not talking about that yet.
No, that's your luck. That's the absence of your neighbor's luck.
No. So here's my point. Generally, I think when we talk about luck, we talk about fortuitous things. We can also talk about bad luck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Now, I think coincidences are constantly around us. It's all patterns
Yeah.
that we haven't quite, put our hands on yet. And the people that can take coincidences, learn from coincidences, or convert on coincidences in a fortuitous manner are considered lucky. Those who can't are considered unlucky. And so I think in some ways, I go back to my original statement. I think luck is a huge thing in our lives, and it's about the coincidences and the stuff that's happening. But I also subscribe to the idea that you can kind of train yourself to be a little luckier because you're being the Schmied.
I totally agree. But I mean, if you're born into a fortuitous situation, that's a kind of luck that you have no
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
You have
Again,
absolutely no influence on.
that's
on
the first part of my thing.
On what
Absolutely.
you get.
Agreed.
Right? The hand you're dealt with, that could be a lucky hand or a shitty hand.
That's all
you can
coincidence bullshit.
you can
That's right.
you can trash a good hand.
Hell yes.
By being the guy who doesn't go out for the and look for the fortuitous things and convert on things, right?
I think we all trash our own hands very often, or at least I do.
So,
I trash my hands quite often.
so you're saying no matter what the hand is you're dealt with, when you die, it's going to be worse than the one you got when you were born?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not talking about the long game. I'm just saying there are several hands within this game that I have trashed.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I've
so
not
have you-
well played the cards that I had been dealt.
Have you rebought a couple of times?
Oh man, I've bought in. I've had to rebuy, yeah, a number of times. So yeah, I think you're. I think that's exactly right. And so those are those weird coincidences. It's when we take possession of those, or we take credit for them. That's when it gets weird, right? So it's pure luck. It's pure coincidence that you came out in South Africa, right, to your parents. That's just
Oh, absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so those cards that you get dealt are.
I
gonna
could have
be-
been born a black kid in the 70s in South Africa, and I would not have had the opportunities that I had being born a white kid in South Africa.
I agree wholeheartedly. And so those are those things that you can't control. It's always, I guess, the reaction to those things that is the only thing we can control. And so that's the only place where you can kind of be the Schmied, the smith of your luck.
Yeah.
But it's a really hard thing to do. And so, yeah, I think there is a lot of people who are considered lucky. I've been called lucky many times in my life. There are many people that would
When's
say,
the last time you
"Oh,
got
you're
called
so
lucky for something?
The last time I got called lucky, I don't know. It's been a while. Maybe I haven't been as lucky lately. I don't, but oh, Philly Girl 1000 chiming in. What about cyclical luck? When it's good, it's very, very good. When it's bad, it's horrid. Yeah. Well, those are those things where
It's like when Donald Trump got made president, everybody had bad luck for 4 years. Cyclic bad luck. Yeah, I think that's a very esoteric way of looking
it's
at
a weird way to say. Wait a minute.
But
What
I
is
think,
an esoteric way of
I think it kind of blends into what Jim's saying, because if you make yourself believe that you're in a cycle of bad luck,
Right.
or let's say you let yourself believe you're in a cycle of bad luck,
Yeah.
then you're going to perpetuate that bad luck by believing you're in a cycle of bad luck.
Yeah.
Or you're going to create less fortuitous situations for yourself by believing that you're in that cycle of bad
Yeah.
luck.
Or you're going to be predisposed to look at the situations
And not convert on them positively.
Not up. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why,
But
Optimism is
I
always a good
think
point.
Philly Girl, this is a very important aspect of luck actually, because this is where you're really influencing your luck. I think you influence your luck by looking at it as bad luck, like being depressed about the situation you're in, or the things that are happening to you,
Yeah.
gets you in that downward spiral.
Sure.
And
just the same
then
way
you're
you're
influencing your luck even more than if you're just neutral, or you're just taking whatever happens and trying to convert on it without making yourself think it's all bad.
Yes. As always, there's going to certainly be someone out there that's smarter about this than either of us. But I would like to put in there that
What do you mean? Andrew's not even online.
I would like to put it to you that perhaps in this conversation, there's an aspect of how we look at it, much like we judge ourselves because of situations, but we judge other people of their motivation, right? So we judge people because we think that's why they're doing that thing,
Yeah, but you
and
can
we
name-
react
yeah.
because of the,
Yeah.
because I'm a victim of circumstance.
Okay,
So I wonder if there, in this discussion of luck, is something that is bringing those things together. Right. So Pavlov's dog, with the psychological conditioning, it's bad, so it's going to be even worse, which is that self-perpetuating thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder if in this conversation there is that idea of luck, that when it's fortuitous, it's because of things that I've done. And when it's bad, it's the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, and that's one of the big fall downs of humans in general, that we attribute bad things to other people, or the universe, or the gods, or something you did last week that you're being punished for this week,
Right.
instead of what you did right now.
And I think it's important because otherwise the damnation that we would give ourselves if we're completely responsible for everything, which of course we are not. But if we were to consider ourselves responsible for everything, then how could we live with ourselves? We have to be able to say there's bad luck, that, you know, because shit happens to us.
Yeah, shit happens. I agree, but I'm an atheist, so I actually feel a lot better about taking responsibility for things than laying responsibility somewhere else.
This is not what I'm talking about. Or perhaps it is, but
I'm not saying it's a hard line. There's a bit of both, right? But I actually feel a lot more comfortable taking responsibility for all the bad things that happen to me, rather than trying to find a scapegoat.
When the airplane crashes on your house,
that's just plain bad luck.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. Because if
but this is what I was. No, you've now taken my point of view, because I said that's just plain luck that you can't influence.
We've just gone to the other thing. This is what I'm saying.
No, I'm agreeing with you. There was a life hack in there.
Oh yeah? Don't get hit by planes.
Don't get hit by planes, right? Always buy the house next to the neighbors who are going to get hit by the plane.
Zhigga, zhigga, zhigga. Life hack.
Remember when we said, like way back a couple of hours ago, when we met this morning to get our COVID test, we said we're going to get some music going?
Yeah, that didn't happen. Because we were just so cool with everything else.
No, that was not the life hack. The life hack that I remembered was, you never know what's going on in someone else's head, and never assume that you do.
That's right.
They're doing things for reasons that you will never know.
That's right.
And usually the reason that they're doing something has nothing to do with you. Even if you're impacted negatively by what they've just done, it's usually not something aimed at you. They've done that without even realizing that you're impacting. They're thinking about their own shit the same way you're thinking about your own shit the whole time.
Oh my God, you weren't thinking about me? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, so there's a life hack for you.
Yeah, that is a super life hack. You know, it's interesting. I would talk about that when I teach acting, because I think that's one of the reasons why theater or narrative stuff is so fascinating, because it's a chance for us to have the feeling like we can see how this person thinks.
Yeah.
Like we can get inside their head, which we can never do. But we have that illusion in the theater, because we can just study that person and try to understand their things.
There's another aspect of that when you're an actor, and especially if you're an improviser, that you are playing one character, you want that character's story to happen, but you have to realize that the other actors on stage with you, they're playing their characters. They're following what their characters, the outcome their characters want.
Yeah.
So it's, this is a life hack for actors. One of the first things that I learned when I went when I went to university was one of my coolest teachers said, you play your role and let your partner play their role.
Yeah.
And don't try and just keep those two things completely separate.
Yeah. See what they're doing.
See what they're doing and react. But
yeah.
It's none of your business what they're playing.
I think, speaking of improvising, or this theater world that Michael and I live in, and so this is why we come to this stuff, I think there's something else in there in improv, because improvising is constantly being confronted with coincidence. Especially at the beginning, where that high, when you're learning how to improvise, and then it just happened, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, yeah!" And then
let's do that again,
and it just came together. Yeah. And the thing is, there's that great line from Bob Dylan: "Take what you have gathered from coincidence," and I always love that line, because you learn so much from coincidence if you can start to see, okay, that happened because that happened. And in that coincidence, you can be lucky about it, or you could be unlucky about it. And it's in improv, there's a nice little model of it to try it all the time, to see, okay, when that günstige thing happens, when that lucky thing happens, or when we can when we can
serendipitous moment.
The serendipitous moment, or when we can create something,
Yeah.
the Bowden for it,
Yeah.
so that we can grow a lot of serendipitous moments.
Yeah, the Bowden, by the way, is
The Bowden.
the ground. The Bowden.
The Bowden.
The ground on which it stands for all of those of you who don't speak Jurglish.
The Bowden.
Okay, good. I think we've given luck its fair share.
I think we gave luck a good shake.
We're
I
gonna
also
move on.
Oh, but before we do, I just wanted to say one last thing. I really like that in the German language, speaking of
Jurglish.
Bowden, in the German language, Glück is the word for happiness and luck.
That's why in German, good luck is hard work.
So good luck is hard work.
You want to be happy? Yeah. Yeah, you got to work at it.
You got to work at it.
It's not all luck, kids.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Good chapter.
Yeah.
Now we should have some music.
And you guys, good on you. Good on Philly Girl. Life and experience come together. Yeah. Good on Pavlov's dog for just putting all of that in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You guys rock. You're the best audience. This is the show with the best audience so far.
It's very often the case in our career, Michael, that the audience is a lot better than
The show.
the show.
Moving on. Jim will be rocking a little tune by Bibis Coreni there. Doing a pretty good job. I like it.
Chapter 2.
Yeah, with the karate chop at the end. I like that.
What's a ninja's favorite drink? Water!
Okay. Part the two is today. Do you remember?
I do. We wanted to talk about the things that people have that they don't appreciate often enough.
And it could have been that, which was actually my number 3, or the other one that we've got. And I only realized today when I was going through them how these 3 topics that we have today bleed into each other.
Oh, so what's the topic? Did I fuck it up?
No, it's great. Because I think either of the next 2 could come as number 3 or number 2. Doesn't matter. It's jumbled up, but it is jumbled up because they're in a circle.
Right.
So things that people have that they don't appreciate.
The things that people have but they don't appreciate.
And a lot of those things are, come from just plain old good luck. What family you're born into, what age you're born into, who your parents are, where you're born. That's just things that happen to you that you have absolutely no control of. And a lot of the time we don't appreciate that a lot,
The fact that you're healthy, the fact that you didn't
It's
fall out of a tree when you were a kid and break your spleen.
Yeah.
The fact that you made it out of the U-Bahn without getting a bunch of COVID on you. Those are health, absolutely.
I think health
number
is
one.
Health is number 1, and I'd say friends and family is number 2.
Yeah.
And then I think the place and the circumstances and the time that you're born into.
Absolutely. And I think those things that we have, so these are things that we have, that we're in, that we're living with, that we don't appreciate because they are ubiquitous, because they aren't a squeaky wheel that needs some grease.
Yeah.
And so we forget to appreciate them. And perhaps that's what this whole question is not a list of what are the things that we have that we don't appreciate, but to remember to appreciate so many things, right? Do you do that? I started doing that this year. Now this is crazy. So my apotheke, I go to my apotheke, my apothecary,
your chemist,
my chemist, my drugstore, And there's a bunch of ladies that work there, and they always take really good care of me. You know, I like my neighborhood people. We've talked about
Jimmy's
this.
very flirty with people. We went to get a COVID test today, and I had to wait in line while he chatted up the guy behind the counter.
I was not chatting up the guy. I was getting...
The lights went green, and he didn't move on, so the lights went red again.
You didn't even know about the lights at that point.
They went green. They went green, and he was supposed to move. But
Anyway.
they were laughing away 19 to the dozen. You know, there's a queue of people.
Uncle Mike.
Yeah, it's impossible to go anywhere with Jim because everything takes much longer because he has to chat people up all the time. He's a compulsive chatter-upper of people.
I am a compulsive appreciator of people. In any case, I go to my apotheca.
For your daily dose of appreciation.
I go there, and I am my apotheca is the only place, the only store that I have a Kundenkarte. And it's because...
What's a Kundenkarte in English?
A customer card. And it's because...
A membership card.
A membership card, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's because I can leave it there.
Ah, yes.
I don't have to carry it around, and I don't have to remember it. In any case,
nice, actually.
I go over there the other day, and I go there a lot, and I was talking, and the woman was like, oh yeah, here, Libby, blah, 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 blah. And she said, you know what, here, it was like a New Year's present. And so I got a pill splitter, you know.
It's like a kind of cigar cutter thing for pills.
For pills. And I was like,
You're buying those big pills.
Yeah, and it's shaped like a pill. It's great. And I said, thank you very much. I will totally use that. And then she gave me like it was like a free sample of some kind of cream. And I was like, thank you very much. I will totally use that. And then she gave me a moon calendar for 2021. And I was like, well, thank you very much. I will never use that. And she started laughing. And then she said, but look inside, there's a bunch of coupons for every month. And I was like, okay, great. So I take it home. But now, what I did was I put it into the toilet, into our WC. And now every evening, I write down a highlight of that day, like something I wanted to appreciate from that day. So that then I can maybe look back over the year and be like, okay, every day there was something that I wanted to appreciate. And I love that. And so I use my own calendar. And I don't know if you're out there, ladies, from the Apotheca, but thank you very much. I'm totally using it.
I'm just thinking it's a weird place to hang something that you're going to write on in the evening. My plumbing only works in the mornings. Like in the evenings, it's...
You don't have to pee before you go to bed?
Yeah, but I'm not going to pee and take the time to write something. Like if I'm already sitting down, facing the calendar, it's easier to write on it.
Well, maybe you do it the next morning. I don't know.
Okay.
But my point is,
you're appreciating things.
I'm appreciating it, and I think that's the whole point of this whole thing is that we have so many things in our life that we don't appreciate, even though we should. Yeah. And not only the things that we have just because the world and the universe has made it so, but also the things that we have that we've
worked for,
but
because we have them now, we take them for granted.
That's right.
One of the things that I thought of today when I thought about this was how much the people we are with, like in relationships, specifically, but our friends and family as well, do for us or give up for us that we don't even realize they're doing most of the time.
Yeah.
Or just take for granted that that's gonna, that things are gonna just kind of lock into place. How many compromises that, lovers or spouses or family members or friends actually take on for your life to work so well.
Unbelievable.
And for you to be.
No man is an island, said a sexist...
sexist old white man?
No one is an
19th
island.
century.
Yeah, and so, and I think that's absolutely true. We all have to appreciate these people in our lives. And that's another reason why, seriously, dude, I appreciate the people in my neighborhood, because without these people, I ain't gonna get along, you know? And I remember like being able to go down to the Werkzeugwilly and say to Willy at the Werkzeugwilly, hey Willy, I need a tool, what do I need? You know, and Werkzeugwilly's gonna be like, okay, this is what you need.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I like
So
knowing the people
hashed
in my
MV is too much information about the morning plumbing. I expect that's what you're saying. Too much
Yes, of
information
course
about.
that's what he's saying.
But you know, this is an adult show.
Yeah. And Michael is a bit of an exhibitionist.
And
He's happy that he hasn't gotten his kid off already.
I haven't taken my kid off yet. But you know why?
Why is that?
No, I don't know.
Because your nipples will make the screen go.
My nipples. I was watching a video of you and me and Kathy and Jacob from about. I know what it was. It was 2015, so 6 years ago.
Okay.
5 years. It was Christmas 2015.
Okay.
And Jesus Christ, do we look skinny in that video? Oh boy.
Really? Did we age a lot in the last 5 years?
About so much.
About so much.
About so much all the way around.
Yeah. Well, let's see. 5 years ago, Christmas 5 years ago, 2015.
I think I still have the same weight that I had back then, but it's just in different proportions. It's like
It's moved around. I got 3 pounds.
It's more of
moved
it's around here now.
into my
here.
left ball. I've got some stuff coming over.
I must have had bigger feet back then or something, because I've got a bigger belly now.
I think maybe your clothes just got Corona Klein. They just got Corona small.
Corona Klein.
Corona Klein.
Corona sized. So,
what's the thing, besides the big things, what's something that you've put into your life, that you've created, that you've hewn out of this chaos that we call the universe? What's something that you really appreciate? Or perhaps that you would feel that appreciation in the loss of that appreciation? Like, is there a hobby if that was taken away from you? Or is there a your career? You know, it's like one of those questions.
yeah, definitely. If I was unable to work in this field at all,
Yeah.
I've thought about this a bit, because what we do evolves so much, and the past year has shown us just how incredibly it can evolve in a very short time. So I'm actually down with things changing, and even with them changing a lot.
Yeah.
In the scope of my career, right? But I think if I lost a hand, for instance, and I could no longer play guitar,
You would really, you would really appreciate your hands.
Really miss that hand.
Yeah. So you really appreciate your hands. Maybe that's the rule of thumb. If you come across something and you're like, man, if I lost that, that would suck, take a moment to just say, well then, damn it, I really appreciate that I can do that.
Yeah, stop messing around with knives so much. Circular saws. Keep your hands away from the circular saws.
Don't ever learn how to play guitar, so that if you do lose a hand, you won't have to lose something that you would appreciate.
I was watching one of Bukovac's guitar lessons a couple of weeks ago, and somebody wrote him and said, so you're the main breadwinner in your household, and your family being fed depends on you having working hands.
Right.
Are you the one who stays away from the housework? Like, how much housework, how much of the handiwork do you do, right?
Oh, Jesus.
In your house.
Yeah.
And he said, my wife doesn't let me do that. Like, she will actively take tools out of my hands.
Right.
and stop me from, I don't know, working the circular saw and stuff.
Because
Because if his hands aren't working, he's a session player, right?
Okay. So she's like, no, totally. You're the breadwinner. Don't fuck with that shit.
Don't mess those hands up, right?
Oh man, we need that job.
I actually like doing that job. I like working around with circular saws and straight saws and even other stuff.
You like cutting stuff.
My last concert, I played a concert in October, and I had 3 cuts on one hand, and I did them all like within the 2 days leading up to the concert. So it was really painful to play bar chords because I had a slice across this finger, and I did something else somewhere, I can't remember.
God, I remember summer one time playing in the street and having a cut, and because it was so hot, it would sweat. And the sweat would just get, and then it'd start to rub on that every time you played a D chord. It was just like, God. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. All right, let's throw it to the chat now. All y'alls, what is something that you really appreciate, and that if it wasn't there, you'd be so sad that it wasn't there anymore? What's the thing that you should appreciate more often? Throw it up there. Maybe you'll inspire the rest of us to take a moment and write it in your own moon calendar. Can't have mine. I use it at night when I go to the bathroom.
How big is the space? How big is the writing space on that moon calendar?
It's just a line. It's very small.
So
it's very small. So it's like I put in 3 words. You know, like last Thursday, when I went to bed and I saw it, I wrote in Isbaz.
Okay.
Because that was that moment that I really appreciated on that day. Moko. Aw.
Which one of us do you appreciate more? L21T24. There's a new person in the chat. Everybody wave to Verena. L2124, T24. We haven't seen L21, T24 before.
Nope. Thank you very much for joining us, L21, T24. School. Yeah.
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 I think that's something that gets taken for granted a lot.
Oh man, the fact that we can actually send children somewhere to learn how to be consumers. No, I'm sorry, that's a different conversation. No, but yeah, school is totally super important.
I was thinking today, when we were on the U-Bahn, Anna's boyfriend. Yeah.
She appreciates her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And Hatched MV also appreciates her boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Oh, thank you, Moko. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate these guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I think it's.
I appreciate
this show would be worthless and no fun at all without all of you guys.
Yeah. I remember when it was exactly like that. I think our first couple of ones, we really were just broadcasting to the world. And so, yes, thank you all very much. What do you think?
Singing helps me when I'm down and out, yeah.
I think we did a good job. Remember, everybody, appreciate it. So, and
in case you were thinking that this is a different jingle, no, this is a completely different jingle. This is the same jingle that he was doing just now. It just sounds different. Brought to you by Jim Libby, the famous Isbaz jingle by Belos Kureni. Thank you, Belos. I appreciate Belos. Belos, you're going on my moon calendar tonight. Verena.
So, chapter 3.
Waving to Verena. I appreciate that Verena is here for us to wave at.
Yeah. See, that's already a tradition.
Yes.
Here, yes. It should be about something.
Touch the screen.
And now we come to chapter 3, which you know.
Yes. Chapter 3 tonight is, can people truly learn from their mistakes?
It should be about that. Can people learn from their mistakes?
So, I think that I've definitely learned from my mistakes, but I don't learn necessarily the first time I do something.
I agree
I need to
wholeheartedly.
fuck up a couple of times in a row to recognize the pattern. It's like there's some things that are really pretty simple, like don't touch the hot plate. Okay, you do that once, and you're pretty scared of it.
Yeah.
You stay away from touching things that are hot or look hot.
You make the mistake.
Once.
You
right?
learn it.
But
Don't
other
do it again.
things, like entrusting crazy people you meet in airports with cash, right?
You've given crazy people in airports
In airports, in
Cash?
rail stations.
more than
in-
once
More than
and
once.
have been burned by it?
Oh, I've been totally burned by that.
Okay, tell me about one of these.
Like
Paint
even,
me, no,
like
Michael.
even sober.
God damn it,
Even sober.
you can't drop shit like
So
that.
I was in Paris.
Thank you.
I was in Paris, and I was getting on the underground, and this guy came up to me and handed me some tickets and said, "They're so and so much," and I just gave him the cash. They were last week's tickets.
Wow, he got you good. That was good. All right, tell me about another one.
I don't actually know why that made such an impression. I can't remember another one.
Okay. So,
But handing cash to people in general, like,
can we learn from our mistakes? Sometimes you have to make the mistake many times before you can learn from it. Absolutely.
it doesn't necessarily have to be airports, but handing people cash, who are shysters, like, insurance salesmen. That's a way of handing people cash, right? Where I've got burned several times.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. So, but the point is, we make mistakes. Sometimes we learn from them right away. Sometimes it takes a long time.
Yes.
But eventually you can learn from that mistake.
Yes.
Is there a mistake that you're still making that you haven't quite learned from yet?
Something that is a trap that I fall into quite a lot is letting people give me their bullshit. I'm too slow to react sometimes. But I'm not actually sure that this is something that I can learn from, as whether this is a mistake that I can learn from.
Okay.
I need to learn to react quicker. Maybe the mistake I'm making is that, and this is a there's two parts to this. It might not be a mistake because sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
I don't judge people quickly.
Right. And sometimes you could preempt
And
some
sometimes
bullshit.
you preempt some bullshit by judging someone quicker.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I've got one, for example, like, I hate getting into arguments with my girlfriend. I hate it. And sometimes I can see, like if we have an argument, I can see where the argument is gonna start. But I'm helpless.
But you keep rowing in the same
I
direction.
keep rolling in the same direction, even though I'm like, this is. I see the falls.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. And sometimes I wish I could, and I think these are mistakes that I have to make many times before I can learn from it. Before I can.
Okay, so what is the thing that you'd like to learn there, actually?
To preempt the bullshit, to nip it in the bud before it gets to
Before
the
it
point
becomes
where
an argument.
Yeah, before the current takes over, before the emotion takes over, before the thing. To figure out, okay, we're just not being honest about something. We're not being clear about something.
Right.
There's some sort of communicational breakdown, and I take it personally, or she takes it personally, and I think this happens a lot in life, not just with me and my lady, but with a lot of people. And so for me, it's I think it's very similar to your thing. It's trying to recognize it faster to preempt the bullshit. Isn't it sometimes enough to acknowledge you keep making the same mistake? Absolutely. Absolutely, and I think that acknowledgement, Moko,
I think that's half of the thing.
is totally, that's the halbemita, absolutely.
Like if you can walk away from making the same mistake again and say, yeah, but I made it for a reason and I'm okay with that, then that's totally okay.
Absolutely. We have a word for it in my house. We call it Erfahrungsgebühr, which is sort of like an experience penalty, not
Charge.
yeah, it's an experience charge. So, for example,
Levy, an experience levy.
An experience levy. So, like when you do something stupid and you end up having to pay $70 or $150 because you accidentally left the key inside the apartment and you were staying at someone's friend's house, and then you have to find a way to get that key out, and you pay $150 to, because you were an idiot. That's a Erfahrungsgebühr. That's your experience levy. And I pay Erfahrungsgebühren very...
Deppensteuer.
Deppensteuer. That's a nice one. Yeah, I call it Erfahrungsgebühr. Deppensteuer is also very nice. Yeah. And so
idiot tax.
And the idiot tax isn't always monetary. Sometimes it's
it's
your time.
It can be
Sometimes
humiliation.
It's your energy. Sometimes it's humiliation and loss of ego. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of ways to pay the Erfahrungsgebühr.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying isn't it sometimes enough to acknowledge and keep making the mistake? I think that's the halbe Miete, but also saying it's okay to gladly pay the Erfahrungsgebühr, to make it conscious, to make it, to be like,
It depends how stupid the mistake is.
I know, but I mean, even then, hopefully that extra charge is the thing that says, learn your fucking lesson.
Yeah.
And so I like to frame it that way, to be like, okay, I fucked that up. That
Again.
was the charge. Again. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Let's, in the next time...
You get so angry
slow
with
it
yourself
down.
as
Oh,
well
damn it.
for doing things again. Yeah.
Can people learn from their mistakes?
But
Absolutely.
let's look at like long term. Do people okay?
You want to look at long term?
Okay, what I say? Because we've just got rid of the orange man.
Yes.
Do people learn from other people's mistakes?
Well, okay. So that's exactly what I wanted to say. For years, in all of my classes, I would talk about in improv or any type of learning anything.
But that's a good example, actually, for learning from other people's mistakes.
Well, first of all, you learn from your own mistakes. We try to learn from it. We make the mistake. We stay humble to the mistake. We celebrate the mistake. The mistake brings us one step closer to not making the mistake.
But it's the great thing about being in a class is that you're seeing somebody else make the same mistake and variations of.
Exactly.
Right?
So first of all, we make it for ourselves. And then I always say, it's always great to watch other people, because learning from other people's mistakes is even better. Our lives are short.
It's less painful that way.
And we also don't have the time to make all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's have other people, let's share the mistake making, and then we can all learn from it.
That's why we have teachers for things.
Yes, but you can't always get it. Sometimes you have to make a mistake,
it's true.
and you have to pay the Gebühr. And sometimes I can watch somebody, and whenever we're watching somebody, they are a teacher in that respect. Absolutely. So learning from other people's mistakes are absolutely wonderful. And I often think about that idea of Newton's, where he said, if I have seen far, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
And I think it's the same thing for us in the theater or when we're being collaborative. The only bit of not confrontation, but competition is to push each other to higher and higher ways of going.
Okay, but you're talking about a noble approach here.
Well, I am. Perhaps it is, and I think it is a noble approach.
Right,
and it has to be.
But
this
is the thing. Learning from this is learning from good mistakes learning from mistakes in a good way, and taking the noble path of accepting that you're standing on the shoulders of giants, and that they're enabling you to see far. But if you don't take the noble approach of those who've gone before me have made mistakes that I can learn from, like voting fascists into power is a bad idea. We've seen it. Like there's lots of people who've done that, and it's happened before.
Yeah.
It's happened before several times, but it just keeps happening again.
It's like the population of Maine voting for Susan Collins. Every freaking time. Not this time. Your days are numbered, Collins. You and your, I'm a Republican, but because I'm from Maine, I'll always vote for Democrats as well because we just like good ideas. Fuck you. Anyway, yeah. I like Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Marcus saying, isn't it interesting when you see it coming and still continue for some reason?
Well, this is what you were saying. Like you see the pitfall, you see the falls. Niagara is coming up behind you, and you just keep rowing, because it's your ego. I think when dealing with people a lot, like, because your example was your girlfriend, right? And I think when you're dealing with people and you see a mistake coming, it has to do with your ego, because you don't want to lose the argument. You don't want to step down. You want to, because you're in that competition, right? You can see the confrontation coming, but you always hope that this time you're gonna show them who's boss. And it never
I hear
works
you.
out
I think it's part of it. I think
because both you lose, right?
Yeah.
And that's the screwed up thing in an argument with people you love.
Yeah.
Because nobody wins.
No, and usually it's not between the people. It's like, I'm always like, okay, instead of having it be between us, let's put it here in front of us so we can both stand next to each other and look at the thing.
Yeah.
Because usually it's not this. It gets to this because this I think is always a...
I think we need more of this.
We need more of this. This is almost always a...
More of this, maybe.
Yeah.
Less of this and more of this.
All right. Slow down. Don't, king shame.
But
opening it up and...
Hatched MV is going to go, that's too much.
Yeah. In any case, I think the idea that learning from mistakes, learning from other people's mistakes, and celebrating the fact that we learn from those mistakes is a good thing. And I think that's a life hack. Life hack. Celebrate your mistakes. Pay the Erfahrungsgebühr and learn from it a little bit faster. We fail again, we fail better. Who was that? Fail again, fail better. It's mostly ascribed to
John Cleese.
No, Waiting for Godot.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Sam
Beckett.
Beckett.
Did I ever tell you my Sam Beckett story?
You have.
Yeah. I'll save that.
I've told it to several people.
It's a good story.
I hope it's true.
It's actually not even my story. It's
your
Walter Stump story.
Teacher's,
yeah.
Drama teacher's story.
Walter Stump. Yeah.
So maybe we need to find somewhere where we can fit these stories in, like crazy stories.
What?
Crazy things that have happened.
Serendipitous things that have happened?
No, like that. That's not a serendipitous story. That's a weird, crazy story.
It is a crazy story, but part of it is because of the serendipity. It's because of the coincidence. It's like, holy shit.
Sure, but
not to give anything away.
Coincidental shit.
Yeah.
That has happened to you or people near you, or that you know.
Weird coincidental shit.
Weird coincidental shit.
Great.
I think that's going to be episode...
Write it down. Write it down.
I don't have anything to write it down with.
I'll write it down.
Episode 38 is going to be weird coincidental shit.
Yeah, that's going to go on way sooner than episode 38 because Michael and I have a terrible time trying to figure out what it should be about. So, once again, we're going to take this opportunity to ask all of you, what should future episodes of It Should Be About Something be about? You know how we do. We always have 3 chapters and we're looking for something to talk about. So, if you've got something you want to get off your chest or you want to hear how we deal with it, please write in the chat or send us an email or, let us know with your smoke signals. I'm writing it down. What is it? The weird coincidental stories.
Weird coincidental shit.
Weird coincidental shit.
Yeah, I think that should be the title. Weird coincidental shit.
Love it. Weird coincidental shit.
Yeah. I know it really is annoying. You see the tragedy unfolding before your eyes, and you keep walking towards it.
Yeah.
So
that's it, man.
What have we realized? Can people learn from mistakes?
Yes.
And it's a two-part answer: yes and no. We're going to have to be happy with that.
And no.
Yeah.
Can people learn from other people's mistakes?
Yes and no. And what we should take away from this is
make mistakes, celebrate those mistakes,
own them,
own those mistakes,
make them again
until you get it right, because you never will. Yeah, and I think that's also something that saves me from that whole thing. It's bringing it back to improv. I would, for years I have said, the day I play a perfect show is the day I quit, because you'll never get to it.
You know, I was thinking exactly the same thing, but I watched the inauguration yesterday for the first time ever. I've never watched an inauguration of the US president. Why?
Yeah, I suppose so. I was in Memphis when Obama got inaugurated. That was that's a good crazy coincidental story. I'll save that one.
So anyway, I watched it for the first time, and there's that line that is in the Constitution or one of the oaths or something about making it a more perfect union. It was in Biden's speech.
Yes.
About making it a more perfect union.
Yes.
And that really resonated with me because he said, you know, the people who wrote this, they were not presuming that this was the final version.
Right.
There would always be a better version of this.
A more perfect one. Yep.
And I think that's a nice way of looking at everything you do, is every time you do it, you try to make it a more perfect version of the version that went before.
We've talked about it before. The word utopia, coming from the two Greek words, utopus and utopus. Utopus meaning a perfect world, and utopus meaning a world that can never exist. And so that's what a utopia is. And so you can only ever strive for it. It's striving for that more perfect.
We have never spoken about this before.
Really?
No.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things, because I love the word utopia, because it's a poem in one word.
A poem in one word.
Yeah. We've done it. That's it. That's the end of It Should Be About Something for this time. Next week, we're going to join you, hopefully. You can join us again at 8:30 next week.
Do you remember what next week's is going to be about?
Not even close.
It's going to be about something. It's going to be about 3 somethings, and we've already decided what those somethings will be.
Yeah. So take a look. Well, if you hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Oh, we never do this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Exactly. Please, if you like the show, give us a like, because that really helps us. That's currency in this world.
If you want to see more and find out from your YouTube thing, hit subscribe.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you already know we're going to be here every Thursday at 8:30. But if you hit that subscribe button, it comes up in your list. And I like having that list. It's like my own curated TV station on YouTube. And I love that. So do that, please.
Yeah. And we've loaded all the episodes up until the 25th of March, I think, or the 4th of March. And all the topics are in there. So if there's anything interesting in there, you can drop us a line as well.
Yes.
And, you know,
and
give us your take on that.
The last thing, which we also never do, we have a tip jar. If we love it when anybody shows up to hang out with us on the show. And if you have the wherewithal or just want to buy us a drink, go ahead and throw something into the tip jar. We are in fact...
It's like below this, there's a link there.
Folks that have thrown into the tip jar, we thank each and every one of you, and all of your donations have helped to buy the lights, and we're going to get some more lights.
We're going to get colored lights for back there.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to do things.
Yeah. And then finally, we're going to get some music, and we're going to get some other stuff. It's going to be great. So L21T24, I wonder who that is. Do you think we know L21T24?
Well, I think it's going to be an ongoing saga, just like
I love it.
A follower of Cain.
I love it.
Follower of Clay. Follower of Clay. Yeah. We'll figure out who L21T24 is at some point.
Thank you, Philly Girl 1000. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Moko. Thank you, Verena.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Christina.
Who else was here? You guys.
Thank you, Pavlov's dog, Muchado.
Machado.
We don't even know Machado then. Hatched
Machado
MV.
was here a couple of weeks ago, or last
good.
week or something. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you guys, everybody
Thanks,
wave
everybody.
to Badena.
You know what, Michael?
What?
That was the best It Should Be About Something ever.
I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
I think so too. I'm just going to call it.
I'm going to take us out with some real Belos Koreni music today.
All right.
Like, for now.
Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. Take care of each other.
We'll see you next week.